Okay, today we are doing something very special. We're building Sammy his own Thomas the Train engine because they don't make any named Sammy. So to do this, we're building something we call the Sammy Tram. Come closer and hold him up. This is the current look of the Sammy Tram. It's a green and white old express train car from the 2005. Don't make these particular trams cars anymore, express cars anymore with engines in them. You can use some of the tender cars. For example, Emily's tender. Can you show us Emily's tender, Sammy? Emily's tender has an engine inside. So a lot of what we do today, you can also do with Emily. Can you show them how Emily's tender works? And it works just like the express engines. Now you note both the Sammy Tram and Emily's tender have connections on both the front and back. To make it look just like Toby, or as close to Toby and other trams as we can, the first thing you have to do is remove the front part. Yeah, you see I took off one of the pieces here that was the attachment. It's done. And now we are ready to begin the painting of the Sammy Tram. Because my son's 3, we're not really going to be doing, he's not going to be doing much construction, but it's important that he's involved in many ways because ultimately he'll be the one that's playing with it. So, Sammy picked out the color. Do you want to grab the paint can, Sammy? He picked out the color. It's going to be purple. He picked out numbers that'll go with the tram. Sammy, you want to get the letters and numbers out? And Sammy picked out a picture of his own self off of a contact sheet, which will fit perfectly onto the Sammy Tram area. And it'll be perfectly about the same size as the ones on the other Thomas trains. And now we're ready to start the painting process. First thing, just as though you were painting a room, you want to cover the areas that you don't want to get paint on.
Tape.
Alright, put him down here. Sit on the other side.
This side?
That side.
Okay.
And now we're ready to paint.
That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. It's the one.
You want to paint some? Put your hand on my finger.
Okay. It's the one. It's the one. The one. There it is. They will be drying.
Now, of course, we need to wait for the train to dry. And we may need to put a second coat on once it's dry. We'll see. While you're waiting for the Sammy Tram or your own train to paint dry, there's plenty of other things you can do to be busy. Sammy, what number do you want your train to be? What number?
13.
Number 13? Okay, let's pick out a number 13, and why don't you also pick out what picture you want to put on front of the train?
I want to do that one.
That one? Okay.
Where's the number? I want to.
So one of the things is, because Thomas faces stick out, what we've decided to do was to use an old keyboard key that our cat had ripped apart, put the face on it so that it sticks out just like the faces do on the Thomas trains. Can you show us both of them, Sammy? All right. Now at this point we have a purple working train. Oh, it's got my fingerprints on it in one place. We'll fix that later. And fortunately, this little pine wood derby holder here perfectly fits it for the work that we still have to do. First thing we need to do, because this is a Thomas train, is put on the face that we made earlier. Because there's some Gorilla Glue involved, I'm going to do this part by myself while right here.
Here's a Sammy Tram.
Okay. Go ahead.
Do